we are celebrating Mer-MAY. In the sense that we're just gonna recreate one of the looks from The Little Mermaid. Specifically, the one where she's like coming out of the water at the end of the movie in that shiny purple dress and she looks amazing. You know the one. So come along with me as we recreate Ariel's victory dress in celebration of Mer-MAY. Also, the live action version is coming out and I'm excited about it, but also hesitant because, you know, Disney live actions, most of them aren't that good, but I have high hopes for The Little Mermaid. I'm not gonna keep you waiting. In this house we craft in pajamas, let's get to it. This is a mini version of my fabric stores. Down in the basement, it's much, much worse than this, but up here, it's relatively organized. Now, come in a little bit closer. That's better, and still uncomfortable. This is shiny purple stuff right here. That's what we're after. I bought this fabric a while ago because I wanted to make this dress, but I didn't know if I would ever actually do it. And now I'm like, I don't know how much fabric I even have. How long is this? Oh, it's not a bad length. Maybe 1, 2, 3 yards. 3.5 yards, maybe 4. Yikes, that's not a lot. But I decided to give it a go, so I started moving my table out of the way so that I could look at the fabric and pattern pieces kind of all laid out on the ground. My original plan was to use this pattern because I used it recently for my Elsa cosplay. I'll put that like here or whatever. I'll put like the little tag thingy here so you can go watch that. I know this pattern fits me really well and so I'm inclined to use it. I really don't want to draft a pattern for this dress because it's in theory very simple, but my mind is trying to make it work with how much fabric I actually have. I'm gonna try and lay out these pattern pieces on my length of fabric and see if I could get it out of what I have, and if not, then I need to come up with another plan. Like I said, my plan is to lay the pieces out onto the fabric to see if I even have enough. It's almost like that's exactly what you would do at the start of any sewing project. Like I've said before, these videos are not tutorials. It is simply me capturing my progress and sharing it with, you know, everybody that's watching. If you learn something from these videos, that is on you. I have to talk fast because the jets are flying over and I live by an Air Force base and they just constantly are going back and forth. I think this is gonna work. I think I can get all 4 body pieces out and then use that. No, the planes are coming. And then use that tiny spot over there for the neck cowl thingy. The airplanes that fly above my house are gigantic, loud menaces. They fly directly overhead every single day and in intervals, and some days it's all day. Lately they've been flying at night, and so it'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning and they're just blasting by. It's great. I love it. I don't mind being woken up by it at all. Sarcasm, sarcasm, sarcasm. Anyways, here I am cutting the pattern out and using these gigantic measuring sticks as weights and guides. I got these sticks a couple years ago and I highly recommend them or something like them for really any person interested in cutting these long lines. The sticks are 48 inches long, so they're longer than a yardstick, and they're thicker and heavier too, so they actually work to weigh the fabric down, and they help me kind of visualize the cuts better. As I was cutting that fabric out, I kind of noticed something about it. Let me see if I can find a good piece where I can show you kind of like what I'm talking about. This is a good example. This fabric is like, it's really shiny, it's very glittery, and it has like a satin back. It's really cheap fabric, I won't lie to you, but it looks nice. It's like glued together. So like it will come apart if you pull it apart. I don't want to pull it apart obviously because I'm going to try and use these scraps for something. These are all the little pieces that I cut off of the dress. It's not much, and honestly I'm kind of glad that it's not very much because when I did my Elsa dress I ended up with a ton of leftover fabric and I like felt like I needed to figure out what to do with those leftovers because I don't like throwing fabric away, not using my scraps. I try to be as sustainable as possible when it comes to crafting, which is like inherently in and of itself not all that sustainable. But I thought this fabric was really interesting. Like, I remember buying this stuff online forever ago and thinking that it was completely different than what it actually is. So tip, when you buy fabric, just be real careful if it's online because you kind of don't always know if you're exactly gonna get what you're gonna get. That's just the way it is. I guess what I'm saying is that my best tip for buying fabric online is to just familiarize yourself with different blends and weights of fabrics, or you could just order a swatch every time, which I almost never do because I don't have that kind of patience. I'm more of a use what you've got, make it work, and enjoy the process kind of creator, and less of a make it perfect, leave clear instructions, and then make it easily replicatable. Anyways, let's talk about pins. Because I'm a pompous little crafting gremlin who thinks they don't don't need pins, I very often get reminded that they do in fact actually help keep things together and they're not just annoying. They're useful, especially when I'm sewing princess seams in fabric that doesn't have the best stretch in the world. This fabric is a prime example of that. The stretch is there, but it's like really weird, so I'm taking a lot of care to get the princess seams just right, and yes, that means so many pins. But other than that, the actual shape of the dress came together really quickly and really easily, which is a nice change of pace from the constant fabric fighting that I've been doing lately. Time for a zipper. I have pink and purple, and even though the dress itself is purple, I ended up going with the pink zipper because I felt like it blended better with the fabric somehow. Hey, turn that camera off. No cameras, no cameras. I just finished fitting this dress to myself and I definitely didn't have any help because I can do everything by myself, and even if my sister is available and at my house, I don't need her help. Just kidding, we're crafting together! This is the very sister that I was telling you guys I missed crafting with in the last video, which actually, thinking about it, that's like 5 videos ago. The future! The future! This is gonna fall off of me and I'm gonna put this on the internet. Don't mind me. No, seriously, don't mind me. Crafty afternoons at my house generally involve dress fittings, and if I'm fitting for a client, it's very professional and I have a changing room and it's all very modest and proper. But if it's just me and my sister, it's like anything goes, and all of a sudden I'm sitting at my sewing machine in a bra and undies because I know I'm just gonna have to get dressed and undressed in 2 seconds anyways. I never said my life was pleasant, but it is pragmatic. Take it or leave it, you little nasties. Katie left, which I'm bummed about because I would prefer if she just stayed and helped me with the entire thing. But she saved me about 2 hours of time working on the zipper, and for that I am incredibly thankful. Is it the best zipper in the entire world? I'm gonna go, it's a solid 8 out of 10. Come here, I'll show you. Like, look at that. It's freaking, like, it's close enough. Like, yeah, this isn't as even as the other side. I'm not really gonna care about that. The top also is a little uneven, but I think I can just trim it and call it good. Here's the thing about this dress. Would I love it if it magically came together all perfect like? Of course I would, but the reality is that I'm going to be wearing it in the ocean for the photo shoot, and it's going to maybe get destroyed? Question mark. So if it's not absolutely faultless, I can live with that. It just needs to work for the photo shoot, and I can always rework things later. The outside shell of the dress is pretty much done, and I'm trying to think like if I want to put a lining in it or not, because I pulled this stuff out of my stash, and it's like a pretty dead-on match for the purple, like, I don't know, material, because I'm thinking it's gonna be really see-through if I don't put anything in it. And now is the time. Like, I have the zipper in, now is the time to put a lining in if I'm gonna put in a lining. And okay, I'm like talking this through and I'm talking myself into putting a lining in, which sucks because it's gonna take more time, but at the same time it will be a better dress if I just do it. Where did I put the pattern? Installing a lining was definitely the way to go because the sparkly purple fabric on its own is really see-through, and again, I'm going to be wearing this in the ocean, so it just makes sense to line it. However, I don't have enough fabric to line it entirely, like the whole darn thing inside and out. So what I decided to do is just make like a small half lining that would stop somewhere below my butt or, you know, in that region somewhere, and say it with me, hope for the best. Just like with the glittery purple fabric, the 2 front princess seams, those are the ones that are like kind of curved and go over your boobies. Those are definitely the trickiest part of this process, so I made sure to take an extra minute or 2 to focus on getting them to fit and lay just right. This purple satin fabric is even less stretchy than the purple glitter fabric, so that was really fun and didn't cause me any strife at all. But soon enough, the lining was more or less ready to get installed into the dress itself, and by this point, I felt like I was really cruising on this project. I'd only spent a few hours cutting and sewing, and the dress was moving right along. I was feeling really great about it. I was also feeling really great about making a craft snack, so it's pizza wrap time. I do a low-carb tortilla, pizza sauce, cheese, and turkey pepperonis because they're slightly more healthy than regular pepperonis. A little bit of heat and it's done. It's kind of like a sad, easy-to-make version of a real pizza, emphasis on the sad, but honestly, it's really not that bad, and if you have a good sauce, it makes all the difference. Let us not be distracted by pizza wraps and keep me from my real purpose, making that one dress from the ending scene of the animated Little Mermaid, for that is my true calling in life. Okay, getting back on track, let's see. The lining is getting sewn in, good, and then it's time to trim it down so that it's not obviously visible for when I cut the gigantic and scandalous slit up the front of the dress so my human leg can peek through, a la Angelina Jolie in that one black dress, and more recently, Pedro Pascal at the 2023 Met Gala. Chef's kiss, Pedro. Chef's kiss. Time to make some spaghetti straps. Here I am sewing a piece of yarn into the spaghetti strap so that I can pull it inside out super quick and easy. This is a great method for making really slim straps, but I will say, it is not foolproof. It works most of the time, but not every time, and this is definitely one of those times where it totally didn't work. And I ended up just yanking the string right out of the tube, even though I sewed it in there super well. I don't know my own strength, I'm strong woman. So I resorted to plan B, which is just me shoving a crochet hook into the tubey strap and trying to get it to pull inside out. And I gotta say, I think I just sewed the strap way too small because I broke a sweat wrestling this little rascal into shape. And then I had to do the whole thing over again because I need 2 straps. But I never gave up, and I didn't let it beat me because I'm a problem solver who solves the problems that I create for myself. Kind of. Last time I worked on this, which for you guys is like 2 seconds, but for me, it's been a minute. But last time I left off with the strap, all I have left to do on this dress is secure the straps in place, hem the bottom, and then do the little cowl neck swoopy thingy on like the dress, like top part of the dress. I can't think, it's still early and I just worked out. I'm kind of tired and I just want to eat chocolate cake for breakfast, but I don't want to go get a chocolate cake, nor do I want to make a chocolate cake, so I'm probably just gonna have cereal. But this is going really well. This is the first time I tried the dress on and I love it. It's full but not too full, and the fit on the top is tight but not too tight. The straps are strapping, the glitter is glittering, this whole dress is dressing, and I am ready to freaking power up and get this thing done. Somebody get me a measuring tape, some pins, and a one-way ticket to almost any ocean, preferably one with good local food and maybe a bakery that sells chocolate cake. Or donuts. Donuts are good too. I decided to sew the straps on by machine because I want them to be super secure. So I sewed them on with like a box with an X in the middle of it to like really secure the straps on. If that makes sense, great. And if not, I am personally unwilling to elaborate because I just want to keep moving. My sincerest apologies. I added a little hook and eye closure at the top of the zipper because I am in the mood to finish things and finish them right. Plus, it really helps keep your zippers together, so I definitely recommend the hook and eye closure thingies. Even though they are a total annoying pain to sew on, just do it and thank yourself or thank me later. I'd like to just take a minute and say that this is definitely not the only way to make this dress. It's just the method that I went with. Casey Renee has a full making of video on her channel where she makes this exact same cosplay, but with totally different fabric, and she installs a corset into hers, which is so cool. I decided to go with the easy, less time and effort way of making a dress, and that's why you all are getting this stinky pile of semi-shoddy workmanship. But I will link Casey Renee's video in the caption below so you can go check that out. But definitely finish this video first, because even though it's not a 10 out of 10 workmanship, and it does have its flaws, it still turned out really well, and I love the pictures we took of it. My voice just then sounded kind of auto-tuned, and I'm feeling a little uncomfortable about that. Don't mention that ever again. Anyways, I just need to finish hemming the skirt, so if we could just speed that up, that'd be great. Hemming takes forever, but it is a necessary step if you want your garments to look nice and last a long time, because if I just left this edge raw and unhemmed and then wore the dress in the ocean like the Little Mermaid does, I am pretty sure that it would get destroyed and look more like her shipwreck dress. Funny thing about the shipwreck dress, you know, the one that's just like made out of sails and the design kind of changes halfway through the scene, I also made that outfit and I took it to the ocean too, so you'll have that to look forward to because that video is coming soon, and it's the Hannah Alexander version, so it's special. Back to the project at hand, Ariel's victory dress. This big, long, infinity scarf-looking tube thing will be the cowl neck thingy. I literally had just enough fabric to make this bit. We are so lucky this time. Doing the infinity scarf method thingy for the cowl neck part that goes like on the dress totally worked. For a second, I kind of doubted if it was gonna work or not, but like I remembered when I used to make these scarves like in 2011 when infinity scarves were like the thing. But you have to look at this. Like I'm really proud of this one tiny part. Look at that. It is the perfect seam. I have been blessed. Blessed, I say. And that was the very moment when I knew that everything was always going to be okay and there was never going to be anything wrong again in my entire life. That's the power of the perfect seam. Never underestimate it. It is a blessing, and the craft world will never be the same. In honor of the perfect seam, I impart a part of my craft blessing on all of you watching. May you enjoy all your crafts, and may they work out more often than they don't work out. May your seams be perfect, and may you never burn your fingers on hot glue. That's enough of that. You got blessed, now don't get greedy. The cowl neck dress top thing ended up turning out just okay, and at this point I'll take it. So I tacked it down in the front, on the straps, and in the back just to to make sure that it wasn't going to go anywhere. And then I called it good. I'm not here to win a prize, I'm here to make my childhood dreams come true. And now that I think about it, it's really more of a dream of mine to actually be a mermaid, but this is close enough. Until I finish my mermaid tail, which is another video that's on its way. So, if you've ever wanted to see me look like a shiny, scaled, busted can of biscuits, well, you're in luck because that video is also coming up soon. Okay, I also styled a wig for this cosplay, but if you know anything about my personal history with wig styling, you know that I am very much a beginner, and I am making the executive decision to not explain how I made the wig so ugly in this video. Please spare me. No, I'm just kidding. I'll add it to the next Ariel video just to entice you a little bit further into regularly watching my crummy videos. Just gotta hook them in and reel them in real slow. Is it working? Don't look at the wig. It's a disaster zone. I acknowledge this is not the best. It's kind of giving Marion vibes more than anything else. Yeah, no, I was very serious about that. This is the only clip of the wig that is going to exist in this video. I make no apologies. If you ever watch these videos and feel a little secondhand embarrassment or cringe on my behalf, you are not alone, and I am definitely feeling those things too. But the thing is that I'm literally out here living my dream, and I'm not afraid to be seen trying. And 99% of the time, pure joy is what's on the other side of the cringe curtain. And to get there, you have to just go through it. And it's almost always worth the anxiety. Okay, my thoughts on this. It got the job done. I think it looks fine. It didn't take me very long to put together. I think I only ended up spending like maybe 20 bucks on the fabric, and I mean the lining stuff I already had from a different project, so I'm just not gonna count that one. I'm probably never gonna work with this specific glitter fabric again. It's just difficult and tricky. It gets glitter absolutely everywhere, so that's a whole thing. All in all, I'm pretty happy with it. I do like the photos that we got out of it. I'm not going to comment on the wig. That's going to be the next Ariel video. I have a lot to say about that. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is this butt seam. Why? Why was it so ugly? I can fix this. I can fix this in probably half an hour, and it's an easy fix. But I did not notice how bad it was until we were at the beach, and there's nothing I can do about it then. Like, it's over. We've made it, you know. This is what it is. I'm probably going to fix it just because it's like a really easy fix, and it just like has this ugly, bunchy, lumpy butt section, and that is unacceptable in most situations, so definitely going to have to fix that. But yeah, overall I'm pretty happy about it. I'm not going to complain too much just because, again, this was a quick project, and I think for what it is, it's pretty effective. This part's a little chunky, lumpy too, but whatever. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to do that. More videos are on their way soon, and in this house, we craft in pajamas.